Hey guys, welcome back to Reserved Investments on YouTube. And today I am going to answer a direct comment that came from the comment section of one of my most recent videos entitled Investing in Collectibles, Defining the Next Big Thing in the Collectibles Market. I'm not going to state this individual's username in this particular video. I am by no means cutting up or attempting to offend this particular individual because I think he asked a very viable question that I want to answer on camera because I think it's going to help a lot of the people out there that are playing in a lot of these markets that make up the speculative side of the antiques and collectibles trade. And to be fair, if you're playing in any market in the overall antiques and collectibles trade, it doesn't matter if we're looking at artwork, rare coins, historical documents, sports memorabilia, Disney collectibles, or in this case, great at video games. All of these markets are somewhat speculative. There is no guarantee what you are going to be able to sell something for in an unregulated secondary market if you are buying these items for their investment potential. So I'm going to read his particular questions. I'm then going to read my response, and we're going to go in this and we're going to discuss it from an analytical standpoint because I think, again, this is going to help out a lot of you guys as to why you seem to be drawn to a lot of these speculative markets, not understanding the risks. Now, to be fair, spoiler alert, this guy did okay in this market, as you're going to see as I read through his responses to my inquiries after he left this comment. So his first comment was, I recently auctioned my first WATA graded sealed game with Heritage Auctions, and it sold for way less than I expected. Have you ever been through similar disappointment? What did you do? I responded, and you guys got to forgive me here because I did respond at I think it was sometime late at night. I just had my iPhone with me. I was literally dozing off to bed, and I think I just issued a response really quickly. So this is what I wrote. You are operating in a very speculative market. What did you expect? That's why I tell people to avoid a lot of these markets. And he came back, and I give him very good credit in what he wrote here because I do want to answer this in full. He said, Sean, the emotion was something I didn't expect. It was a rush. I had a WATA graded copy of Silent Hill for the original PlayStation in 9.8 condition with an A seal rating that sold for $6,500. The last 9.6 graded copy with an A plus condition seal rating sold for $7,500. Did I get boned? Maybe I shouldn't complain. I was in the easy money. I was only into this game for $400, but they did such a good job hooking me with their appraisals. Okay, first let me respond to your last question first. Heritage Auctions did nothing wrong in this assessment. I want to make that very clear. It is very hard to offer appraisals for most items in the overall antiques and collectibles trade. When you guys are looking at a lot of these speculative markets, whether it's Magic the Gathering cards, Pokemon cards, dare I say MetaZoo, Flesh and Blood, or even graded video games, vintage video games, modern era comic books, limited edition comic books, limited edition video games, you need to understand it is very hard for any auction company to say, hey, if you can sign that item with us, you're guaranteed to get this amount. What they do is they give you an estimate of what they think the item is worth. Now, in your case, you did okay regardless. You're only in this item for $400 plus grading fees, I'm assuming, and you turned it in to $6,500. So I don't know why you are complaining per se. I understand that you didn't get as much as you thought because you're looking at completed auction histories and you're noticing a 9.6 with an A plus seal rating sold for $7,500. Now I know in your mind you're thinking, well, wait a minute, mine's a 9.8. I'm top of the heap here. I got a 9.8 with an A seal rating. Therefore, I was expecting my particular item to do much better than the 9.6 that went for $7,500, but yet mine only sold for $6,500. Sean, how does that happen? And that's what I want to respond to. You guys need to understand these markets are 100% speculative. There are no guarantees that just because you have a highest graded copy of a video game, of a Pokemon card, of a Magic the Gathering card, that the market is going to reward you for that, and you're going to get all due praise and just financial rewards. You are playing in a market that is not yet established. Now, to be fair, let's compare this to rare coins. Let's say you had a coin, you did the price history, it was CAC stickered, it's MS65 plus, you send it to auction, and it sold pretty much within the realm of $1,000 or $2,000 of with another one that was almost similar in grade. That can happen in that market too. But what I'm going to tell you is that market is much more established. It's a mature and sophisticated market. There's usually a reason why it's sold for that price. And remember, when it comes to coins, eye appeal, premium quality is everything, guys. You can have two like coins graded the same, both CAC stickered, both graded by the same grading company, and they could sell for phenomenally different values at auction. So you need to understand that going in, but that is a mature market. There's reasonings behind why that coin sold for what it was at that particular point in time at auction. When we compare it to video games, when we compare it to Magic the Gathering, when we compare it to Pokemon cards, you are looking at a purely speculative market. You don't believe me? Here again, go back to 2012. If you had a VGA copy of Silent Hill, I believe VGA was in existence back in 2012. If you sent them this game to grade and it came back VGA 90 plus, VGA 95, and you consigned it, you found an auction company back then to consign it, I guarantee it would have never went anywhere near $7,000, let alone several $1,000s, because back then that market was not where it is today. And the reason why it is where it is today is because the market is truly speculative. Do you understand how this correlates to the advice I give on this channel? When you guys come to me and you tell me, Sean, you don't understand, I'm putting all my money in Pokemon cards, Magic the Gathering, video games, or even if you are one of these people, Sean, I'm putting all my money in established and or mature collectibles. It is not going to work out for you. These markets are extremely speculative with no guarantees. Now let's compare this to a financial asset. Let's suppose that you're right now sitting on Dow Chemical stock. Dow Chemical, symbol DOW, is sold on any of the exchanges. I think it's sold. I think they're a part, I don't know if they're a part of the S&P 500 index or not, Dow Chemical. I think they are. They may not be. I know ExxonMobil was recently removed from the S&P 500 index. They're in the NASDAQ now. I forget where Dow Chemical sits. I own both of those companies, full disclosure, in my own personal portfolio. So let's say that Dow Chemical is pretty much selling right now. The markets are open. You can trade Dow Chemical, and the price coming across on the ticker symbol is about $60. Well, if you sell that stock right at that moment, you're guaranteed to get whatever price that says for Dow Chemical stock. The antiques and collectibles trade is completely different. There's no guarantee. Even if you come to me, expert in the trade, if that's what you guys want to call me, and I certify something for you, and I give you a piece of paper that says, hey, I value this particular item between these two price points, you can take that to auction. That does not mean you are guaranteed to get that particular stated appraisal value anytime you consign that item to auction. These markets do not work the way a lot of you guys think they do. Now, again, I got to reiterate before I end this video, this person did very well. He only paid $400 for this item. He's going to be okay. He turned $400 plus grading fees into $6,500 minus whatever Heritage charged him to consign this item. But make no mistake, this was not Heritage Auction's fault. This is not anyone's fault. It's not a failure on his end either. He did what was right. The auction company did what was right. The difference is you are playing in a very speculative market. This is exactly why I do this particular YouTube channel, to teach you guys that even if you do attempt to hit a home run, sometimes your home run, it's not really a home run. It's more like a, well, I got to second base at least. And that's what you have to prepare for if you're going to invest in these markets. Said another way, there are no guarantees. You are playing in a speculative market, and the people that are playing against you in that market, they hold all the cards. The people that make the most in a lot of these markets are the grading companies, the auction companies, and also the hype-driven YouTubers out there that keep telling you, you can go into these markets, you can put all your money in these assets, everything's going to be okay, because demand and prices only go one way in the antiques and collectibles trade. That is 100% false. So again, I'm glad that it worked out okay for this individual. Let's be realistic. He turned $400 plus grading fees minus a few auction fees into $6,500. He's going to be doing just fine. But overall, learn from this experience. There is no guarantee that says a 9.8 copy of any graded video game at any given time is worth X number of percent more than a 9.6 graded copy, because video games are much more speculative than that of comic books. And they are extremely more speculative when you compare that market to graded coins. The fundamentals are not there in a lot of these pop culture markets, guys. Learn from this. Use this information. Make it enrich you. Don't be one of these people that get slapped in the face with a stale donut because you don't understand how speculative markets work in the antiques and collectibles trade. Thanks for watching. Have a great night.